Good day, everyone. So today we will discuss the LM6, which is about the terminologies, facilities, and equipment in volleyball. So this LM or learning material is divided into two lessons. So before we proceed, let's start with the introduction about the lesson. Okay, so it is always important to know that jargon, when we say jargon, ito yung specific words or group of words for specific persons lang. So, dito, para sa volleyball. So, of any sport or jargon of any sport, and volleyball is no exception. Understanding the rules, terms, facilities, equipment, and many important aspects of a game would make it more enjoyable for us to take part in the game or to watch it para mas ma-enjoy natin or kung tayo na yung mismong naglalaro, maiintindihan natin yung mga terminologies sa volleyball. So this chapter, LM6, will introduce you the terminologies, facilities, and equipment used in volleyball that would help you to relate in this sport. This lesson is intended to give you deeper knowledge with regards to the sport and having the initiative to understand every single content of the lesson would be worthwhile. Okay, so for your pre-test, you just need to draw the equipment used in volleyball, yung mga equipment na familiar sa inyo. So, um, basahin nyo na lang din for further information or instruction sa inyong LM. But that's the simple direction or instruction about your pre-test. So let's proceed to the lesson 1. So here we have the terminologies in volleyball for the lesson 1. So marami tayong terminologies here. So multiple slides will follow. Unahin na natin dito. So ace. Ace is a serve that results directly in a point, usually when the ball hits the floor untouched on the receiving team's side of the court. Ito yung, sa ace, merong iba-ibang cases. So, let's have one example here. So, for the example here in our slide, sabi dito, when the ball hits the floor untouched on the receiving team's side of the court. Pag nag-serve yung, kunyari, Team A and hindi siya na-receive ng Team B resulting to untouched ball, and of course, the point will be given to the Team A. So, that's an ace. Next is assist. So, meron din ng assist sa basketball, but here, assist here in volleyball, helping a teammate set up for a kill. It could be covering up or setting the ball. So, maintindihan nyo naman yan later on as we proceed sa mga next slides. Next, attack. The offensive action of hitting the ball. So, ito yung tinatawag na spike or hit, basta any attempt to attack or to get a point. That's an attack. Next slide. Okay, attacker. Of course, that's the person. O, eto. Sinasabi, also hitter and spiker. So, it could be hit or spike sa attack. A player who attempts to hit a ball offensively with the purpose of terminating play. So, the purpose is to get the ball to the opponent's side and gain a point. Next is attack block. The defensive teams attempt to block a spike ball. So, ito, normally, ito to sa defensive team. So, you will directly, parang kayo yung nag-i-initiate to do the block. Mas aggressive kayo. At natatawag siyang attack block because you are doing the initiative to block the play of your opponent or the opponent's team. So that's the attack block. Next, attack error. An attack botch in one of 5 ways. So ito yung mga sample. Ball lands out of bounds. So kunwari, yung inyong team nag-try to do an attack. Unfortunately, it lands out or it landed outside the court. Ayan, out of bounds. Next, ball goes into net. So, hindi siya successful na naka-transfer sa kabilang court or sa opponent's court nyo. Next, attacker commits center line or net violation. So, mga touch sa net. Or attacker illegally contacts ball. So, yun yung mga sample ng attack error. And of course, the point will be rewarded sa kalaban nyo. Okay, that's the attack error. Next is attack line. So, may sample court tayo dito. A line which is 3 meters or 10 feet away from and parallel to the net. So, separates the front row players from the back row players. Ito yung sample ng attack line. Ito, kung nakikita nyo to. Itong line na to. From here to here, yan yung attack line. So, ito yung front zone and ito yung back zone. So, ito yung attack line. Next, back row or court. So, yun, na-mention ko na kanina. That's the space from baseline or end line to attack line. Ito yung back row court natin. Ito, back row. Itong area na to. Let's go back sa previous slide. So, back row attack. When a back row player takes off from behind the attack line, so, ayun, back row attack, the attack is coming from this area, itong back row. Yan. Next, back set. Set delivered behind the setter. So, normally, nangyayari yan sa, of course, sa set ng setter. I'll give you some videos about this, but you normally see this pag ganito. Kung nakikita nyo, yan yung back set. Tapos, nasa likod niya yung mag-spike. That's back set. Next, baseline, the back boundary of the court, also called the end line. So, yun, same lang siya. Ito yung baseline or end line na tinatawag. Okay, let's go back. Next, block. One of the 6 basic skills. A defensive play by one or more front row players meant to intercept a spike ball. So, merong single block, double block, or triple block. Mga example siya ng block. Okay. Alright, next, blocking error. Kung meron tayong attack error, merong blocking error. So, touching the net, crossing the center line, blocking a set or serve, or any other local violation that occurs while making a block attempt. So, hindi allowed na mag-block during a serve. Kunyari, kayo yung receiving team and yung opponent nyo is yung serving team. Tapos, serving pa lang, nag-block kayo, automatic blocking error. One example. Okay. Next, closing the block. This is the responsibility of the assisting blocker or blockers to angle their body relative to the first blocker. So, parang assisting na din to. Assisting yung pinaka-main blocker. Next, cover. Cover refers to the hitter having his or her teammates ready to retrieve rebounds from the opposing blockers. So, ito yung supporting teammate mo For example, ikaw yung nag-hit or nag-spike ng ball and unfortunately, na-block siya ng blockers ng kalaban. Of course, nandun yung iyong teammate for a cover. That's to save the ball. Yun yung cover. Next, cross-court attack. Siguro may mga mahilig dito sa volleyball or fan ng mga PBL, UAAP. Familiar kayo sa cross-court attack. An attack directed diagonally from the point of attack, also called an angle hit. So normally, it happens, kunyari, nasa left yung spiker ng court nila. This spiker normally attack doon naman sa left side rin ng kalaban. So imagine niyo na lang na nasa left yung spiker attacking cross court sa left side. Point of view ito ng kalaban niya nasa left part or nasa left side ng court nila. That's cross court attack. Okay, cut shot is a spike from the hitter's strong side that travels at a sharp angle across the net. Somehow related siya kay cross-court attack, but sharper. Kumbaga, from end to end. Basta example ko siya sa, balikan natin yung court. Hanap tayo ng court. Eto, kunyari dito yung spiker from, or let's say here, spiker, normally, ang hihit niya na area is here, dito, sa mga area na to ng kalaban. So, from here, spike here going here, or dun sa cut shot naman, very sharp. Kung dito galing yung spiker, could be nandito. Diyan. That's cut shot. Somehow related naman siya. Cut shot. Okay, cut shot. That's cut shot. Next, deep. Refers to sending the ball away from the net toward the baseline of the opponent's court. So, example naman nito ay Ito yung spiker. Kunyari, gamitin natin si middle hitter. I-hit niya yung ball dito sa mga part na to. Dito. Basta in pa rin siya. Diyan. Yeah. Yun yung deep. Next. Deep. Okay. Sa baseline ng opponent's court. Okay. Defense. One of the 6 basic skills rin. Then, the key skills used to receive the opponent's attack are digging and sprawling. So, di-discuss din natin si digging later. So, ito. One of the basic skills si defense. Ito si dig. Dig, passing a spike or rapidly hit ball and low to the ground. Defensive play, slang for retrieving an attack ball close to the floor. Ito yung mga critical moment na malapit nang ma-hit yung, or I mean, nasa floor, malapit na sa floor yung ball, but the defense team was able to dig to save the ball dun sa from falling or from touching the ball, or I mean from the ball from touching the floor. Whew. Next, dink, a one-handed soft hit into the opponent's court using the fingertips, also called a tip. Ito yung soft na touch lang para ma-transfer over yung ball to the opponent's court. So, yan. Well, walang masyadong force na ginagamit. Next, double block. Ito na example ng blocking. So, 2 players working in unison to intercept a ball at the net. So, from the word itself, there are 2 persons working sa blocking defense. So, they both of them will jump to cover or to block the attack of the opponent. Next, double hit, violation. So this is a violation. 2 successive hits by the same player. So hindi yun pwede. Dapat magkaiba ang touch from kunyari 1, 2, 3, di ba? We normally have 3 touches. So 1 and 2 hindi siya pwedeng same player. Pero pag nag-attack yung kalaban and nag-block ka, you can still do the first touch. Pwede yun. So, alam yan ng ibang mahilig sa volleyball. But yan, example lang siya. But for 1, 2, 3, hindi pwede yung consecutive touches is manggagaling sa isang player. Dapat iba-ibang player. Okay, down ball, type of attack. Down refers to the blockers who neither jump nor raise their hands above the net. Ito yung walang blocker na umabang dun sa attack ng opposing team. Yan. Or, I mean, offensive team, rather. Sorry. So, walang nag-receive, walang nag-block, even walang tumaas na kamay just to do the block. Yan, down ball, yan. So, ito yung sa point of view pala nito is sa blocker. Hindi sila attempt to block the ball. Next, dump. Usually performed by the setter, who delivers the ball into the opponent's court on the second contact. I'm not sure kung familiar kayo, but for PBL, I might say, excuse me, the example here is Gia Morado. She loves to do the 1-2 play. So, after ma-receive ng ball, tas sa kanya na supposedly set, she normally do is kill the ball sa pangalawang touch. Yan, instead of setting, yan, dropping the ball sa opponent's court. Yun yung dump. Next, 5-1, an offensive system that uses 5 hitters and 1 setter. So, ito yung type ng offensive system that merong 5 hitters inside the court and isa yung setter. Next, floater. So, this is a type of serve with no spin. So, the ball follows an erratic path. So, may iba-ibang types of service kasi tayo when it comes to the movement of ball. So, sa floater, hindi nag-spin yung ball the moment mo siya i-serve. Yan. Next, follow. To move with and block an attacker. Athletes may change positions with another blocker in the process. So, parang assisting din ang follow. Next is the forearm pass, sometimes referred to as the pass, bump, or dig. So, a type of pass, ang forearm pass. Next, 4-2, an offensive system using 4 hitters and 2 setters. So, yeah, there are 4 hitters and 2 setters. Next, free ball. Returning the ball to the opponent without the intent to get the kill. Usually a slow, arcing pass or roll shot rather than a spike. Normally, this happens sa mga critical play na hindi nyo na kayang gumawa ng spike or attack. You just, ang aim nyo na lang is to have the ball go over sa kalaban or sa court ng kalaban. Yan. Free ball. Yung hindi kayo nag-aim ng attack. Next, front. Position of a blocker so that she or he can block the attacker. So, positioning of body. Next, front row. 3 players whose court position is in front of the attack line or the 3-meter, 10-foot, near the net. So, these players are in positions to 3, 4. So may sample tayo ng numbering. Meron ba dito? Balik natin. Yan. These players are in positions 2, 2, 3, 4. Doon tayo sa court. The numbering here, normally dito yung 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, ito yung mga nasa front. 2, 3, 4. So, yan ang example. Game plan. So, game plan, offensive and defensive emphasis for an opponent, usually organized for each rotation by the coaching staff. So, ito na yung game plan, plano ng coach nyo on how to handle errors, on how to work with your teammates, and how to be familiar with your opponent's gameplay or game plan as well. So that goes hand in hand. Next, held ball. A ball that comes to rest during contact resulting in a violation. So normally this happens sa setter. Pag medyo may konting delay na nagstay yung ball sa kamay niya during the set, a held ball will be called. Next, hit. One of the 6 basic skills. To jump and strike the ball with an overhand forceful shot. So, ito na yung spike or hit or attack. Yan. Okay, hitter. That's the person. Spiker or attacker. Yun na. Player who is responsible for hitting the ball. Next, hitting percentage. A statistic derived from the total kills minus total attack errors divided by total attempts. So, merong tinatawag na scoreboard for each person. So, yan. That's how they compute hitting percentage. Next is joust. When 2 opposing players contact the ball simultaneously above the net, causing the ball to momentarily come to rest. The point is replayed if this is called by the officials. So, ito yung parang parang nag-stay ng for a couple of 1 or less than 1 second yung ball sa top ng net. Yan. Yun yung joust. Next, jump serve. Ito, mostly nakikita or na-observe natin to sa mga players sa men's volleyball. They are very good at jump serve. But, of course, may mga selected players din naman sa women's volleyball that do jump serve. But, from the word itself, they do jump before serving. So, tinotoss nila muna yung ball into the air and then they jump to serve the ball. Yan. Ayan, jump float, jump spin. So, yung jump float, yung bola is hindi siya nag-spin while traveling from your court to the opponent's court. But jump spin for the serve, yun, normally may spin na nangyayari while the ball is being served going to the opponent's court. Next, key player or play. To discern a team's best player or probable next play by observation of patterns or habits. So, this happens sa mga new teams na maglalaban. Of course, hindi nyo pa kilala yung kalaban nyo. So, you need to check sa kalaban kung sino yung key player, at the same time, ano yung key play ng mismong team nila. Okay, may nalampasan ba? Wala na. Okay. Kill. Ito, an attack that results directly in a point or side out. Ito yung successful attack. Ito yung kill. Next, libero. So, a player specialized in defensive skills. This player must wear a contrasting jersey color from his or her teammates and cannot block or attack the ball when it is entirely above net height. When the ball is not in play, the libero can replace any back row player without prior notice to the official. So if you can observe um, sa players inside the court, you will see um, a player na may naiibang uniform or jersey. Okay, so let's proceed to the next one. The lines. Lines, the marks that serve as boundaries of a court, 2 inches or 5 centimeter wide. So, yan. Ito yung sa court natin. Ito yung mga lines nasa blue line. We have sideline here, end line, yan, sideline, end line, attack line, center line, attack line, yan. So those are the lines. Next, linesman, officials located at the corners of the court. Ito naman. Dito sila pwesto. Yan. We have 4. So we have 4 and they have red flag each to indicate whether the ball is in or out. So yeah. Pero may mga specific or other roles pa si linesman. Hindi lang yan. Okay. Next, line up. Players starting rotation. Therefore serving order. They are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So, ito yung sample ng line up. Yan. Makikita nyo dyan yung starting. So, 6. Yan. Balik tayo. Okay, that's line up. Next, line shot. A ball spiked along an opponent's sideline closest to the hitter and outside the block. Okay. Normally, ito yung naglaland sa sideline. Malapit sa side part ng opponent's court. Okay, next, middle back. A defensive system that uses the middle back player in 6 to cover deep spikes. Ito yung mga nasa back row. I've mentioned earlier na yung numbering ng ating players. Balikin natin, may court ba dito? Where's the court? Ito. Diba dito yung 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Etong 1, 6, and 5. Sila yung nasa back court row. Back court row. So, middle back. But for the middle back, si number 6 yan, nasa gitna. Kaya siya nasa middle. Okay, next, middle blocker. Ito naman, nasa unahan, number 3. Usually placed in the middle of the net when in the front row and moves laterally to her blocking assignment. So that's the middle blocker. Next. Middle up. A defensive system that uses the middle back player in 6 to cover tips or short shots along the 3-meter or 10-foot line, also called a 6-up defense. So, eto, somehow related din siya dun sa previous na na-mention ko. Eto, middle back. Yan. But, eto yung medyo malapit sa attack line. Compared doon sa middle back, mas malapit siya sa end line or baseline. Both are sa defensive. Next, mean to net. The original name of the game of volleyball, created by William Morgan. Nasa history natin yan, mean to net. Next, opposite. A player who plays opposite the setter in the rotation. In some systems, this player is also a setter. In other systems, this player is also called a right side. But normally, a right side um, um, tag or name sa kanya. So, nasa front. Next, outside hitter, usually placed at the ends of the net when in the front row, also called right side or left side power. They do attack outside the court, so mga cross-court attack. Next, overhand pass. So a pass with both hands open that is controlled by the fingers, with the face below the ball. Both hands simultaneously contact the ball above the head and direct it to the intended target. So type of pass ito, overhand pass. Overhand serve. Serving the ball and striking it with the hand above the shoulder. Yeah, could be float or spin. Overhand serve. Type of serve. Next, overlap. A violation called if a team is lined up out of rotation when the ball is served. So, di ba meron tayong sinusunod na rotation. Balik natin dito. Okay. Pag may nadaanan tayong court, well, balikan na lang natin baka may court. Hindi pa naman malayo. Okay. Layo pala. Medyo. So, ito yung rotation. Dito, si player 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, si player 1 will go here. And player 6 will go here. 5 will go here. Plus 4 will go here. 3 will go here. 2, siya naman yung magsaserve. Meron ata ako niyan eh. Sana. Para mas maintindihan niyo. Okay? So, pag hindi nasunod yung rotation, yan, itatawag ng referee overlap violation. Next, overpass. A ball passed across the net. So, a successful movement of the ball across the net. Okay. Overset. An errant set that crosses the net without being touched by another offensive player. Pass. One of the 6 basic skills. Receiving a serve or the first contact of the ball with the intent to control the ball to another player. So, ito yung transferring of the ball to your teammate. Next, pancake. One hand floor. This is a defensive technique where the hand is extended and slid along the floor, palm down, while the player dives or extension roll. So, ito yung mga critical defensive din siya. But, for this one, ito yung isang palad lang, or normally, palad lang yung nagsasave sa ball. Parang digging, pero si pancake kasi, basta, it's a very quick movement just to save the ball. Yung parang, ito yung floor, tapos, dito yung bola, kusa na lang nagganto yung kamay ng player, and the ball will bounce there. So, yun yung pancake. That's legal. Party ball. When the ball is passed across the net in front of attack line, so the front row attacker can immediately hit the ball on the first contact. Ito yung tinatawag na regalo. So, yeah. Ito, explain ko na lang. So, kunyari, nag-try yung serving team mag-serve and nakalipat na sa defensive or sa receiving team. Tapos, si receiving team naman yung mag-attempt ng attack. However, hindi maganda yung coordination ng tatlong touches. Ang nangyari, free ball siya. So, yung free ball nila is too close to the net. So, of course, the serving team, what they will do is one contact lang. A very quick attack, or kahit hindi quick attack, basta isang contact lang to kill or to terminate the ball sa receiving team. Yun, isang contact lang. That's party ball. Okay, next. Penetration, the blocker's ability to reach over the net above the opponent's court. Meron tayong penetration. Sa perimeter. Alam ko sa perimeter. The blocker's ability to reach over the net above the opponent's court. Mali yung si image. Dito yan dapat. Dito naman sa penetration, ito yung willingness or yung energy ng blocker to successfully block the attack of the opponent. Ayan. Next, perimeter, backcourt defense, where 4 players arrange themselves near the boundaries of the court. So, ayan na yung picture. Ayan yung defense nila. Itong 4. Next, 5. A back row attack from the middle of the court. So, ito yung attack coming from the number 6 player. Diba si number 6 is nasa back row and siya yung nasa gitna, number 6. Yan, position 6. Dito siya naka-pwesto. But this is a perimeter defense. Okay. Next, quick set. An extremely low vertical set used to beat the opponent's block. Ito yung to surprise the opponent. So you will do a quick set sa mga setter. And this can be done at any position on the net. Next, rally scoring. Scoring method where points can be won by the serving or receiving team. Depende kung sino yung mananalo sa rally. Next, ready position. The flex yet comfortable posture of a player assumes before moving to the point of contact. So it from the word itself, being ready. Your body position is being ready. Next, red card given by the official to a player or coach for flagrant misconduct, resulting in a point side out to the opponent. So, ayun, the result, automatic ejection and a point side out for the opponent. Yan. Iniiwasan. Next, roof, to block a spike, usually straight down for a point. So, meaning guarded. Hindi pwedeng pasukan yung defensive team. So, ito, tinatawag na roof. Next, rotation. Ito na, meron tayong image siguro dito. Yan. Okay. Rotation, the clockwise movement of players around. Ito yung movement ng rotation, clockwise around the court and through the serving position following a side out. Ito na yun. Yung sinasabi kong si 1, player 1 will go here, 6 will go here, 5 will go here, 4 will go here, 3 will go here, and number 2 will be the next one who will serve. So, hindi yan pwede mag-overlap. So, 1 na, kunyari, nakapwesto na sila dito, eto, hindi siya pwede pumunta dito sa side niya. Dapat, lagi lang siyang nasa right side ng number 6 and nasa likod ng number 2. Once na pumunta siya dito sa left side ng player na to, yun yung tinatawag ko kaninang overlap violation. So, automatic na call is overlap. Okay, that's the rotation. Next, seam, the midpoint between two players. So, it could be sa blocker. So, ito yung space between two players. Sample sa two blockers. Next, serve. One of the 6 basic skills again. Used to put the ball into play. Ito yung sinasabi kong may iba-ibang type ng serve. And at the same time, sa movement ng ball, yan, that's serve. Ulit ba? Okay. Next, set. This is a skill po, one of the 6 basic skills. So, the person, setter. Huwag kayong maguluhan. Kasi meron tayong set for the game itself, or for the match itself. We have best of 3, or I mean best of 5. So, yeah, you need to win 3 sets. So, the tactical skill in which a ball is directed to a point where a player can spike it. So, parang piniprepare mo, when you're doing the set, or setting, you are preparing for an attack. Yan, as simple as that. Set attack. When a setter attempts to score rather than set the ball to a setter. Also called shoot set. Pero meron din tayo kanina niyan. Na-mention ko yan. Related lang siya. So, yun. The setter, of course, the person. Yan. Shallow. Near the net. Malapit lang sa net. Yung attempt ng attack. So, that's near the net. Shank, severely misdirected pass. Ito yung hindi magandang pass. Shank. Side out, change of service when serving team has failed to score a point. So, kunyari, kayo yung serving team. Normally kasi, kung nagsaserve, kayo yung service team, meaning kayo yung recently na nakapuntos. But if you failed to score a point, of course, dito napapasok yung side out, the other team will go and do the service. Yan. Six-pack being hit in the face with the ball. Ito yung mga unintentional na nangyayari sa court. Unfortunately, may natatamaan sa mukha na hindi sinasadya. That's six-pack. Next, 6-2. An offense with 4 spikers and 2 spikers at the same time setters. So total, all of them are actually spikers and 2 are setters. So setter comes from the back row. Slide step, a quick attack behind the setter. So it goes hand in hand with a quick set. Meron din ito, slide step, a quick attack. From a quick set, you'll get a quick attack. Next, spike, also called a hit or attack. A ball contacted with force by a player. So, ito na yung hit. Related na rin siya. Next, split block, a double block that leaves a space between the blockers. Ito yung to widen the block. So, especially kung hindi nyo alam kung saan itatama ng attacker or spiker ng kalaban yung bola. So, you need to leave small space between the two of you, kayong dalawang blockers. Split block. Next stop, a ball deflected back to the attacking team's floor by the opponent's blocker. So, ito yung successful blocking ng defensive team. Next. Substitution allows one player to replace another player already on the court. So, we have 15 substitutions per set and unlimited po yung substitution for each player. So, walang count. As long as hindi pa basta 15 yung allowed na substitution. Pag sobra na doon, yan, hindi na pwede. Next, to change switch to change court positions after a ball is served to facilitate strongest player position. So, ito na yung mga gameplay ng mga players inside the court. Ayan. Because hindi naman kayo magiging statue doon sa inyong position. Ayan. Tandem. Combination in which one player attacks immediately behind another. Ito yung tinatawag na combination play. Like, you're deceiving the opponent na ikaw yung mag-a-attack. However, meron kang player sa likod mo na yung reeling, siya talaga yung mag-a-attack. Based sa, of course, communication. So, yan, combination play. Tape. This is yung white tape na nasa net, sa taas ng net. Next, telegraph to show one's intention to the opponent. So, communication inside the court. Sa court nyo, telegraph. 3-meter line, the line extended across the court. Na-mention na yan earlier. So, attack line. Next, tip. A one-handed soft hit, called dink pa rin yan. Na-mention na rin yan. Next, tool. When an attacker hits the ball off an opposing blocker's arms out of bounds, also called wipe. Ayun. You're able to do a defense against the opposing attack. Baliktad pala. Sorry. Ito. When an attacker hits the ball off an opposing blocker's arms out of bounds. So, for example, kayo yung attacking team and you are successful doing the attack even though may blockers. Yan. Next, touch. A player contacting the ball on the defensive play. So, tinatawag to minsan pag may mga outside ball. So, to make sure kung may touch or wala para ma-identify kung may point or wala. So, yan. So, of course, pag na-outside siya, successful siya na transfer over the opponent's team, pero may touch, reward sa nag-attack kasi may touch sa kalaban. So, yan. Next, transition to switch from offense to defense and vice versa. Ito yung change kanina from serving. So, serving team, if hindi kayo nanalo sa rally, you will be the one to receive. So, yan. Same lang siya sa from offense to defense. Palit-palit. Next, triple block. All 3 players, front row players. They position 3 of them will position their bodies to block the attack of the opponent. Next, underhand serve, performed with an underhand striking action. Underhand. The ball is usually contacted with the heel of the hand. So, medyo mahaba, malapit na siya matapos. The W serve receive formation, 3 players in the front row, 2 in the back. So, ito yung formation na nagpo-form ng W letter inside the court. Kaya siya, double serve, receive formation. Wipe. To deliberately spike the ball of an opponent's hand and out of bounds. Ito na yung kanina, sabi ko, successful attack nyo kahit may opponent's block or block from the opponent's team. Yellow card, given by the official to a player or coach as a warning of misconduct. 2 yellow cards result in an automatic red card. So parang warning na ang first yellow card. So you don't want to get another yellow card. So yan, to avoid red card. Okay, so lesson 2 na tayo about facilities and equipment. So let's proceed. Konti lang to. The court and its lines, medyo familiar naman kayo dyan. Ito, hindi naman siya as in standard itong mga nasa labas. But, here, ito yung pinaka-standard na nasa itong shaded part na to. Itong sideline, end line, attack, at basta itong part na to. And of course, this one, service zone that may enough space, 9 meters. Yan. Okay. Solid ball. Contrary to popular belief, not all volleyballs are the same. The ball is the single most important piece of equipment in the game. A good ball will alleviate pain caused by hitting it over the net or between teammates. So you need to choose the best ball. So if a game is being played indoors, a leather ball will work best. Cannot be used outside because it may become wet and damaged. A cloth ball may be used as well. This will not sting as much on the arms and last a long time without costing a fortune. For outdoor play, a synthetic leather ball is recommended. Next, the net. Okay, ito yung net natin. The net, choose. The net shall be made of 10 cm square dark stitches. A rope is thread through the bottom of the net and is tied to the post of the tenth net. Ito, side bands. Ito yung side band. Itong part na to. Diba ito yung cape. Ito naman yung side band. So side band, those are the two tapes of white material 5 cm wide and 1 meter long shall be fastened one on each side of the end of the net perpendicular to the intersection of the respective side line and to the axis of the center line. Both side bands shall be considered part of the net and have side limits. So still part siya ng net. Antenna or antennae. Let's see. Antenna. Plural antennae. Each is fastened on the outer edge of each vertical side band extending 80 cm above the top of the net on the opposite sides of the net. They are considered part of the net, still part of the net, and have side limits. Height of the net. Ito na yung height of the net. So, ito, naka-indicate dyan, women's beach volleyball net height. Same lang siya sa regular na volleyball na ginagawa sa UAP or sa PVL. So, yan. Or kahit sa Southeast Asian or SEA Games. Ito, standard na yan. Professional. Actually, almost the same lang naman for any category sa women's. And dito, same lang din sa men's for their category. But of course, magkaiba sa women's, sa men's. Poles, we have two. Stainless. Yan. Two poles, preferably adjustable, round and smooth with the height of 2.55 meters support the net, one at each side. So, ito yung supporting pole para makatayo, or I mean, para ma-stretch yung net natin. Knee pads. Ito yung for the players naman. Example ng knee pads. This is to prevent injuries. However, a person should choose pads according to age and experience. For instance, younger athletes should use thicker pads since these players have less experience diving for the ball. However, for older athletes with more knowledge, may choose thinner knee pads kasi expert na sila. They work well to prevent bruising and burns. All knee pads must fit comfortably around the leg area. Not too loose or not too tight. Next, ankle braces. Ito, brace for ankle. The most common injury associated with a volleyball player is a sprained ankle. So important to. To avoid the problem, it is wise to invest in a good pair of ankle braces. Since braces have proven to lower injuries by 40%, certain volleyball team coaches mandate them. They provide stability to the area without compromising activity. Lace-up braces guard the sides, front, and back of the ankles. They are especially important when setting the ball at the time of frequent under the net contact. Okay, the proper footwear. So, ito, shoes nila. Men's and women's volleyball shoes are essential gear for the game. These shoes contain a gum rubber, so merong rubber, sole to provide maximum traction. These shoes are designed to protect the foot during side-to-side movement. The front padding of the shoes is thick, so the legs do not suffer pain from continuous jumping. A smart shoe choice will be made of leather and contain a low heel. This provides top support and helps to prevent sprains as well. Okay, so that's the end of the discussion for the LM6. Thank you for watching, and we're almost done for the final part. Um, I'll keep you updated. And that's all for today's video. God bless and stay safe, everyone.